Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan. Not really trying to talk about Big RA for 2024, but there's some. I was thinking about some stuff today, and I kind of need her here for what I'm talking about. But for Martell first, did Martell forget that he had done an interview with Queen Sheba and incriminated himself? Let's get into it. Okay, so when it first came out that Martell had been arrested, he had turned himself in or whatever, we found out it was for DV, third degree, harassing communications. And we didn't quite know, everybody didn't quite know what it meant. And we know that harassing communications now is communication through phone, text, telegraph, or whatever, but you are sending a message to someone and it's not a very good one. So, more than likely a text, more than likely a photo that you could threaten someone with. Let's keep going. So, if you remember when Martell and Mel had gone to Destin, right? And they were out there in the ocean, that was in the water or whatever. And he said something to her about a photo. And she said, "Oh, Martell, why you always sending me these old photos?" Martell keeps everything in his phone. He sends Mel, and I know you've heard her say this on the show, or on a live. He sends her various photos all the time. Let's get into the Queen Sheba of it all, right? Hold on.
Ariana could only have said, Martell is really upset, and he talking about putting out a sex tape with Melody or something like that.
We would like to issue an official statement regarding the recent allegations against Martell Holt concerning harassment text messages to his accuser dated back to August 2022. It is with great concern that we address these accusations. Martell Holt adamantly denies any intentional harm or harassment towards the accuser. Okay, he just said that he could have sent out that type of tape if he was upset. Let's keep going.
You feel about Ariana just talking too much and oversharing. Sometimes
I'm not worried about that. You know,
at all.
So some people, they make mistakes. That's taken care of, and some people just make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. What I'm talking about, everybody does.
So with Queen Sheba asking Martell, how do you feel about Ariana just talking, and oversharing? And his response is, "I'm not worried about that." Sir, you have just turned yourself in for harassment because you have sent Mel a photo of her in order to get her to stop bothering you. And you're not worried about it. Do you realize that if Ariana had not said anything, we wouldn't even be here today? You probably wouldn't be on TMZ turning yourself in. But he said it's taken care of. Let's keep going.
Okay, what I'm saying is when Carson went live, and I feel that if it wasn't orchestrated by, I don't know, by Melody and Carson, I don't know, because again, Carson mentioned Melody's name 2 or 3 times, saying that Melody, y'all go ask Melody, I'm pretty sure she got the tape, or Melody got something. And I'm like, damn, they must have orchestrated something. Once Carson did all her stuff, I feel that Melody could have called me then. And Martell, what did you share with Ariana? Opposed to going online, dragging me, making me seem like I actually put
She
the
didn't
video
drag
out.
She said there's a tape. I listened to it. I heard her say, because I like to listen in the bushes. And she said there is a tape that does exist.
She drugged me. She don't know if it's a video that exists. She doesn't know that.
She did it.
I sent her a screenshot. I did. I sent her a screenshot of her and I. I did. I sent her a screenshot, and I sent you. Did you see that text message?
This is the example of talking all over yourself, right? Martell blamed everyone in the world for this situation except himself. Mel and Carson made this up? What, and called Ariana and told her about it? And then he says in here that he doesn't know, like, he shared the tape with Ariana. How would they know that? And then it's like, Mel doesn't know there's a tape. Then Queen Sheba's like, Melanie said there's a tape. So, did she know what you were doing? Eventually, she said she knew because Mel said she had a tape. But then, he says he sent her a screenshot of them together. Which could be Revenge P. Which is harassment. Which is why you had to turn yourself in or you got picked up. Okay? So maybe you can blame yourself now. Let's keep going just a little bit more.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Were you both aware that there was a video? Were you hoping? So let me, why do you think Carson or Ariane, and I want to move on after this, why do you think that Ariane or Carson would make that up? Or Ariane would make up the fact that there's a tape or a video?
Or Carson would make it up. Only
how would she know, though?
Only because Ariane mentioned it. I don't know.
I got you.
I mean, Erica could have just mentioned that Martell's talking about a sex tape, whatever, and then Carson trying to get on the show, which she's not going to get on. She's trying to get on the show. Now she's calling Melody. Hey, like, man, I don't know. They could have plotted something. I don't know.
Let me say this to you. Queen Sheba she did this. This interview is really all the information that anybody would need. This interview negates everything said all in here. Even the healthy co-parenting relationship. That doesn't even exist. But let's get into Big Ari, right? Because I was listening to True T and she said the number 10. This girl has wasted 10 years of her life with Martell. And I thought about it. That's a decade. What have you done in a decade? And I want y'all to let me know in the comments. I'm going to run my decade down and I'm going to run Big Ari's down. Hold on. So I'm just going to go for my decade. I'm just going to say 2006 to 2016. Okay. In those 10 years, I was living in Japan. I was teaching. I had a baby. I moved back to Texas. I lived in 2 actual cities. And I lived on another continent. I got my master's. I had 6 jobs. I got a divorce. I got into a new relationship. During the time I was in Japan, I had traveled to Korea, Hong Kong, Thailand. Came back to the States, and I think the only place I went at that time was probably DC. I went to an A&M homecoming, and a few more, maybe 1 or 2 other places. I threw myself a 40th birthday party, and I had a lot of love in my life. And I'm sure there's more, but that's just what I could think about. And I was like, what did Ariane do for 10 years? Ariane went to a party, met a married man, got pregnant for him 3 times. 3 times. Had 1 baby for him. She's a mother of 2. She sold clothes from AliExpress. She did an interview with Tasha K, outing herself as a mistress. Okay. She took pictures with her baby's daddy. She went live with Martell on Halloween. And she's part of a Revenge P plot. Your homework for today is, people, let me know what you've done in a decade. This is crazy. Ariane, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You have allowed this man to just really take your childbearing years away. Running up behind him. And if he goes to prison, and I don't know if he's gonna go to prison. We don't know how this is gonna end. Girl, you're not even on the log to call to let know what's going on. Y'all, let's talk about it. It's your girl, Millie Chad. I'm out.